Thank you. So, when you're in any place you find yourself, any organization or anywhere at all, the best thing you should always do is just to make sure that you are contributing, no matter how small. You don't know how far your little contributions can do in helping other people. It may not even be for yourself or for other people, all right? So make sure you're always contributing to, and I appreciate everybody that contributed today. I'm just going to share my screen so that I'm going to share my Excel. So fine. We are all seeing my Excel screen, right? Are we all seeing my Excel screen? Can we all see my Excel screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Olalekan, just leave your mic on so that I can always get feedback from you faster. And secondly,
Okay.
if you have any questions at any point, just try to type it. I'll see it and respond while going on with the lecture so that we don't have to stop. But if it is something that you cannot type, if it's too long, you can just raise your hands and you ask questions, because we're not going to stop at any point to take questions until the end of the class when everybody can now take questions. So it's already 8:35 and we are going to start properly at 8:40. So let me just use this opportunity to still thank all of you. I really appreciate, I'm so proud of all of you for what you all did. And for those of you that did not contribute, you think you're smart, I believe you guys think you're smart. It's okay. It's okay. But maybe next time we'll not allow you to be in this class. We'll just chase you away. Or we'll go and have our own class and leave you. We'll not even inform you that we are having class and we'll just be having our class. So it's really nice, participate and help build your own community wherever you are. It goes a long way, it helps a lot. And to Mrs. Joyce, I don't know if you're here already. If you're here, then we love you. I don't know, I'm short of words. You made it so possible because it was looking like it's not going to work where, considering, and then you came from nowhere. You saw what was going on and it's something you like and you just did what you did. I appreciate you so much. So guys, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, look for somebody like Mrs. Joy. She's a kind of friend that you need to have. Someone that doesn't look at you, they just look at what you're passing through and then they come in and do what they can do. All right. So I love you, ma'am. Thank you so much. God bless you. So it's already time. I want us to start. So we are looking at Power BI visualization today, and I believe by now we all have our Power BI installed in our systems, right? Does anyone still have an issue with installing Power BI? Okay. So we all have our Power BI installed in our system. So if you missed our last class, don't worry, maybe some other time we can find a way to fix that. So Mr. Mayowa, please mute. If you have your Power BI installed, then that's great. But I'm just going to
bring my earpiece. Okay.
Please let us mute our audios, please.
Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Mayowa, please mute.
Bring my earpiece for me.
Mute it before they bring your earpiece.
I don't think
so I have a file. I have a file here. I'm going to open it.
Bring this earpiece for me.
So I have this file. It's an Excel file. That's our. If you check, I think I have to find a way to mute. Is there a way to mute everybody?
Post everybody.
So you can mute everybody. Mute us.
Okay.
Mute everybody. We won't listen.
So I've just muted.
Yes, it's better.
All right, so let me go back to my screen. I was sharing my screen here. Please, can you see my Excel? Can you see my Excel screen? Mr. Olalekan, can you see my Excel?
Yes, I can. We can see it.
Okay, so I have this file. That file that is in the main group that they give us last time after the last class. This is it. So this is what we are going to be using, okay? So this is what we're going to be using. I'll just enable it. So, but before we continue, let's just do a little thing about, if you watch here, we have two tables. We have other table, order 1 and order 2. We have all these details in it. If you see order 1, that is table 1, it starts from 101 down to 350. If you go down, it stopped at 350. Then this one starts from 351 down to 600. So this table 2 is just a continuation of table 1. We can just simply copy everything in table 2 and continue here from table 1, and we'll not have table 2, right? But we separated it for a reason so that we can understand some certain things when we get to Power BI. So let me use this table 1. I'll just do, let me go to pivot table. So we'll just come here and then we'll go to insert pivot table. Then we'll just go to a new sheet, right? So in this sheet, if we are familiar with pivot table, this is how it is. You have all your tables here, right? If you can remember. Then if, for example, you want to find maybe the country with the highest sales, this is your profit, the country that gave us the highest profit. You just drag country and put in row, then you drag profit and put in your values. So from here, you can see the country, sort it from highest to lowest. So from here, you can see the country that gave, let's just work with maybe just five countries. You can just reduce it, filter by value, top 5. Then we can just work with only 5 countries so that we don't have plenty. Okay. Is my volume okay now? Can you hear me well? Is my
You are not seeing your screen, what you were doing before. You are clear. We can hear you. But
can you see my
what you
Excel
just
screen?
demonstrated, the pivot table was not.
Can you see the Excel screen now?
Yeah, we can see the Excel screen now.
Okay. My screen is in partial view. Okay. What's sharing your screen? Can you see my full screen, please?
Not really.
Partial view. All right. Okay.
Mr. Mukhtar.
Yes, sir.
There's background noise.
I've turned it off.
Let me mute.
Okay. So you cannot see my screen now, right? I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it? The full screen, Mrs. Olukemi, the full screen. Can you see the full screen? All right, good.
The screen you are showing has
yes.
assignment in between, is it?
No, I'm just showing the pivot table screen.
No, we are not seeing. You have an assignment in between the your tables that you're showing.
Let me show only this one. Can you see only?
We are now seeing your pivot table now.
Okay, good. So we all know how we got to this pivot table from our previous class. So in this pivot table, you have just 5 countries. You can see your highest country with your highest sales. And to be able to draft this thing, just click on the pivot table, go to pivot analyze. Then you can see pivot charts to create your chart. All right. So the reason why I came here is I want to talk about this chart because in our previous project, we all saw what happened. I want to just tell you a few things about charts because you need to know if you're presenting a chart, your chart has to be really simple. But what I want to point out here is that we have different type of charts. We have the column chart, which is this one you're seeing here. Each one I click, you see it here. Then these are the different type of column charts that you can use to represent your information. If you use a wrong chart to represent a certain information, you're not going to be able to tell the story. People that are looking at the chart won't be able to see the detail you're supposed to see. But look at this now, you're trying to show the countries with the highest sales. And this column chart tells the exact story. At a glance, you can see the highest country, the lowest country, and everything. Now, if you use a line chart, it is not going to work. Someone that is not really technical is not going to be able to see the message you're passing here. If you use a pie chart, it is going to even be more difficult, because from this pie chart, you can only tell the highest country, but you can't tell which one is now the second. Okay, this is second highest, but among these three now, you can't tell which one is the third largest. So once your chart or your dashboard is a little bit difficult to tell by anybody at all, then it's not a good chart. So this particular chart, you can, and mostly when you want to use pie chart, is usually when you want to represent anything in percentage or anything in, mute this guy. So anything in percentage or anything in average, when they tell you to find the average of anything or find the percentage, then what you're going to use is the pie chart. So for this information, the best chart to use is the column chart, right? When you click on the column chart, you're going to see your charts. And now when you open your charts, okay, I don't know why people are not respecting.
Why don't you mute all of our mics? Mute us.
Okay.
Mute everyone.
Let me do that. Click from pause, disable. Okay. Okay. Even muted. Jenny muted. Everybody, Bishop, I've muted you. So let's start video. All right. So we are all muted. If you're gonna unmute yourself, please just respect yourself and stay mute. All right. If you want to ask anything, just raise your hand and we are going to allow you to say your mind. Okay. So good. We are back here. When you look at this chart that we've drawn now, you're going to see that you have so many information. Another rule of visualization is that you don't have so many text, don't have so many things. Just at a glance, the goal is that at a glance, your viewer should be able to see the information. All right. At a glance, your viewer should be able to see. Don't worry, we'll get to it. At a glance, your viewer should be able, whether the person is a technical person or a non-technical person. So you don't have to have all these things. You have to remove all this grid line. You have to remove all these things. So when you come here, just click here to hide, so that it will hide. As you can see, we are making this easier and simpler. So you want to minimize and have as little information as possible that can still have the whole meaning, or that can still have the whole message. So this country, you need it. You need to have this country here. These grid lines, you can remove it. And to do that, just click on this plus sign, go to the axis. You need the axis, so you need to leave it on. The chart title, of course, you need your chart title to know what you're working on. Then the grid lines, you don't need it, you need to remove it. And then this legend, this total here, you don't need it. It's no meaning, it's not telling us anything, so you don't need it, all right? And then data line, this x-axis where you have 3,000, 2,005 and all of that, you don't really need it. Let's look for something else that can represent the information. If you put a data label, we now have a data label on top of each of the bar. So we don't need the other one. You can just remove it. So we can click here to remove the vertical axis. All right, good. All right. So our chart is very simple now. As you can see, you can know that USA got this particular figure, this country got this particular figure. At a glance, whether you're a technical person or not, this is a very clean chart. All right. All right. So that's great. That's all I wanted to show you here. So we now move to our Power BI. I'm going to launch the app. That's where we're going to be doing everything. So the difference between Power BI and Excel is that most companies actually use Power BI. Not all the this Excel is basically used by, for accounting, just accounting, project management and all of that. But for analytics, for data cleaning, for data analyzing, the most appropriate one you're using, most companies are using, is this Power BI. There are some companies also use Tableau, but I'm going to be pointing out some differences between Power BI and Tableau. But they are basically the same thing. The only thing is that in Power BI, you have a free analyzing tools, that is the Power Query. But in Tableau, you have to pay. You can actually visualize your data on Tableau, but you cannot analyze it for free like Power BI. You have to use Tableau Prep, what they call Tableau Prep. It is a paid software. Inside is just like Power Query inside Tableau. That's why most people don't use it, because of that payment. But maybe in one of these classes, I'm still going to, have just one day to show you everything about Tableau in case you have a job that requires you to use Tableau. So this is our Power BI interface. We're already used to all of these places. So these are different places you can get because the first thing we have to do when you come to your Power BI is to get your data source, to go and get the file you want to work on. All right, because this is just an empty place if you don't have any file to work on. Your Excel is an empty space for you if you have nothing to work on. It's just a blank space. So the Power BI is just a blank space like this. You need to start your work. You have to just click on this blank report. The blank report is going to bring you to this interface. This is the actual Power BI where you are going to do your visualization.
Mr. Chris, we are not seeing the Power BI. You are not showing.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll just share my screen generally so that anywhere I go, you can see.
We are there now.
But you know how I got here? You know how I launched?
The beginning.
You know how I launched my Power BI, right?
Can you start from the beginning
of
the Power BI so that others can follow us?
Okay. You also how I came to this place? No. Okay. So it's basically the same thing. Just launch your Power. Let me just unlaunch it. So I'll launch my Power BI. I don't know what's really wrong with it. So I'm launching my Power BI. Can you all see my Power BI launching now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, fine. Mr. Ken, you're welcome. So can you see my Power BI interface? This is the only thing you should be seeing now, the Power BI.
Share your screen now. We're not
No,
seeing
you don't share your screen.
It's sharing. My screen is sharing.
Oh, we can't see it.
It's you we are seeing.
We're only seeing your
Oh,
picture.
Sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Power BI, right? Okay, good. So when you come to Power BI, this is what you're going to see, the interface. These are just different places you can get your data, because basically the thing you're coming here to do is just to work on data. So these are called data sources, different places you can get it from any of these places. As you can see, our beautiful Excel is here, of course. So, but what you need to do is to click on this blank report, because you want to start a new project. All right, so you click on blank report, then it's going to bring you here. All right, so let me just explain everything you're seeing here. The first one is your home. This first one now, inside the home, these ribbons, this paste, this copy, you all know these ones now. So this get data is simply where you get your data from. You can either use your Excel file. In the last class, we talked about different file formats, right? So if you're using Excel file, you click on Excel. If you're using Power BI schematic mode, if your file is saved as Power BI, these are different ways you can save your file, even as a text or CSV. But what we want to work on is in Excel format. So we're going to be using Excel format, right? So the next one is all of these things. We're going to touch it while we're working though. So basically, it's just your design tools, what you're going to do your design with. So this interface is where you have your work, where you're going to have your visualization. They have a Mac. It's unlike Excel where you can draw and drag and make it big. But here, this line you're seeing here, this black line, this is where you must limit your design to, all right? It helps you limit your design. Then when you come to this extreme, you have data, you have visualization tools. This data is where you're going to have your table, the table you're working with. The visualization is where you're going to do all your visualization. That place will have designs in Excel. That place we got that distance from. When you click on this place, you have your pivot table. This pivot chart, where we have all our charts in. This is exactly where it is in this place. This is it here. This is where you pick your chart from. So you pick a data from here and drop here to choose a chart that you want to work with here. Then filter. When you saw when I did in that in this place, in that Excel file, you saw when I sorted, when I did the top 5. This filter is where you can do that.
Mr. Ayodele, can you mute, please?
I muted this people. Why are you guys are muting yourself? Why are you guys are muting yourself? I don't understand.
Mr. Ayodele, mute yourself. Mr. Chris, can you mute all of us?
I've done that already. I don't know why.
Ayodele, can you mute? Maybe Omar, can you mute yourself?
Okay, so please let's just ignore that. Then this part here, this is this place where we are now, where you can have all your visualization. Then this place is just your tables, where you're going to have all your tables. When we bring in tables, we're going to have it here. Then this model, the model is where you're going to be able to merge different tables. You remember when we did product keys, foreign keys and primary keys. So this is where you're going to see it in action. All right, so what we need to do now is to bring in our data. I hope you can all see my screen. I'm in Power BI right now. Can you all see the Power BI? Okay, good. So I click on get data to go and get the kind of data I want to use. So you remember we opened the Excel file here. So it's an Excel data. Most of the times you're going to be working with Excel data, most of the time, okay? Except on few occasions where you need to work with text or CSV file. But whichever one you are working with, it's going to be specified, okay? So don't panic. I'll click on Excel workbook. It's going to take me to where I have Excel, mostly Excel files. If I open other kind of files, they will not be highlighted. So this is the one we want to work on, the class assignments that was given in the main group. If you check your group, you're going to see this data set. So I'll just double click on it and it's going to come into this place. But once I double click on it, what it's going to come up with is, it's going to pop up it's going to pop up something. These are the tables. It's going to pop up these tables. These are the tables, these two tables. If you check the Excel file that I showed you, you realize I will have two tables, right? Let me remove this one. We'll have the
Good evening, Mr. Chris. Good evening.
And the table 2, you're welcome. We'll have the table 1 and the table 2. So, and it is the same file that we opened in Power BI. So it is giving us table 1 and table 2. So in this table 1 and table 2, we want to load the both of them. So each one you click is going to show you everything in the table here, just to confirm, so that you can confirm if this is the table that you want. So we confirm that this is the table and this is table 2. So you can actually work on just one table at a time, or since we have the liberty of working on both tables at the same time, so we choose the 2 of them. The next thing is to load the table. But hey, if I load the table now, it's going to take me straight to Power BI, where I'm going to start working on it. It's assumed that the table is clean already, and I don't need to do anything again on it. But that's going to be wrong, because nobody's going to give you a clean data to work on. Definitely your data needs to be cleaned. That's why, in fact, that's your job. Most data analysts, they spend 80% of their time cleaning data. So your job here is just to clean this data. But even if the data is clean, always make sure that you still transform it to be sure. All right. So we cannot click on load. You can click on transform data to check this data and clean it. So you click on transform data. Once you click on that transform data, the next thing that will happen is that Power Query will come up. All this while we've been on Power BI. Now this is Power Query. The job of Power Query is to clean data. All right. Once you see this thing, just refresh it. You say this preview may be up to 2 days old. Just refresh it. It's nothing. So now I want to explain the difference between Power Query and Power BI. Do you know that when we come to Excel, this is just an Excel sheet. If I want to do 1 plus 1 in Excel, I will do what? I will say equals to sum. Now, this formula, what I've done is to call a formula. This formula is a different thing inside Excel. Normal Excel like this cannot just do that calculation for me. I have to call up it could be a formula or it's, but in terms of Power BI, it is called Power Query. Power Query is like the software inside Power BI that does your cleaning for you. All right, so good. Do we all understand Power Query now? Power Query helps you to do your cleaning, your analysis. In fact, that you're a data analyst, it is Power Query that will help you do that analysis, to clean your data, to confirm anything you want to do, to transform your data. There's something they call ETL. Whenever you see data analytics, any person you know that is a data analyst, there's something they call ETL. It is called, it's a language in this thing that used to call extract data, transform the data, and load the data. So we've extracted the data, which is one we got when we loaded it from Excel, that Excel file that we brought in. Transformation is what we are doing now. Once we finish transforming and we load it into Power BI for visualization, then we've completed ETL. So anytime you come across ETL, don't panic, because it is very simple. It's something you know. Extract, transform, and load. All right. So good. So now we've loaded these 2 tables into our Power BI. We've loaded these 2 tables into our Power BI. Let's look at these 2 tables. Like I told you before, the table 1 has from 1 to what? 351.
Baby, I'm not seeing the table.
Can you see the table now?
No.
But I'm sharing my screen. Let me share. Okay. It is showing the table.
You are on the
Just the
Query.
Power BI. Just
Yes.
the one that import data from Excel.
Okay,
We can't
okay,
see.
okay. Can you see table now?
Nope, not yet.
Can you see Power BI now?
You're on Power Query. Have you applied
This is
the
Power Query.
changes?
Are you seeing the table? Table 1 and table 2.
No.
Wow.
I think it's loaded, but it's not showing.
What are you seeing now, please?
We are
When
on
you
the
just open the
Query.
Power BI, the first,
Apply
I
the
think-
changes so that you'll be able to.
Oh,
And it's just loading.
okay, okay. Oh, and you didn't say it since I've gone far already. So let me just cancel this one that I've loaded already. So it is just going to load. Let's allow it to load then. So what is loading is those 2 tables now, all the data in those 2 tables. So as you can see, it's showing you the size of the file, total role, and all that. And it has loaded successfully. Do the visualization with your data. Okay. Can we see the tables now? The 2 tables.
Yeah, they're on on the visualization data side.
I don't know. Let me stop sharing. Okay, so I'll stop sharing now. Let me share again. This is the table. Share. I'm sharing the table now.
Okay, it just appeared now.
Okay, good. So sorry about that. Now we have the table 1 and the table 2. I believe we all know how I got to this point. Did you see when I click on transform instead of load? Did you see that part?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So I clicked on transform and it brought us here. It is still carrying those two tables that we have. So these two tables are supposed to just be one long table, but we splitted it to be able to show you one or two things. This table 1 has 0 from 001 to 350. Yeah, 350, as you can see on the other number. This 350. Then the table 2 is a continuation of the table 1, 352. So now what we are going to do is to append the table. The last time we did merge. So how merge, if you want to do merge, as you can see here, merge query. If you want to do merge will only join this one now, continuation of this heading. It will just go to the end of the table and create new columns, continue from this last column and join this table to the next one. But that's not what we want to do, all right? Let me show you what pen has. This is the table 1, right? So, and that table 2 is a continuation of this table 1. What merge will do is to merge it, to start from here and join the table 2 to this one. But what we want to do is to join it from this end. We want it to continue from where this table. So we want it to continue from 351. So, and to do that, you can do that in Excel as long as all the headings are the same thing. The heading here, other table, customer, all these things, as long as they are the same thing, right? Customer name, customer gender, all of these things. So if you come here, you check, you see that they are still the same thing. It's still the same customer order, customer name, customer gender, and everything here is the same thing. Nothing is different. So it is the same thing in Power BI. If you can see my Power BI table, we have the order 1 and order 2 table. The order 1 table has order, customer name, this customer number, customer name, customer gender, city, and all of that. The last column here is what? Profits, right? So if you come to order 2, you see that it is still the same thing. The last column here is profits. The first one is order number, customer number, everything. So they can actually append. Look at the last one, profits. This one is just extra column. There's no information here. All right. So we can now do what we call append and not merge. I just explained the difference between merge and append. Merge, you add it to the extreme end and continue from there to make it wider. While append, we join it to the bottom, to the last one, and make it longer. So we click on append. We make sure we are on the table 1. If you want to join table 1 to table 2, make sure you're on table 2. But
hello, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, okay.
We are assuming that the cleaning has been done.
No. We want to start the clean. This is part of the cleaning. What we are doing now is the cleaning. So we want to join table 2 to table 1. We'll click on table 1. Make sure you're on table 1. Now, alternatively, we can clean these two tables separately, and then we'll now use product key. We'll now use that key thing to kind of join them together. But we don't want to do that because they are the same table. So it's just better we put this one on and then clean them at the same time so that whatever we do to this column will happen to all of the column. So I'm on this table, order 1. I'll come to append, click on append query. It's going to bring up that table that I am on. Now, 2 tables, you want to join 2 tables, but this is not 2 tables. We want to join more than 3 or more tables. So the table 1 is here already, and the table 2 is, this is table 1 and this table 1. Table 2 is here. So we want to join table 1 to table 2. So what we'll do here is just to add. So we bring in, we come here, click on this table 1, click on add, because you want to add, you want to bring this table 2 to here. You want this current is the main table that you want to join another table to. So if you click on add, it's going to add the one you're clicking here. All right. So I want to add table 2 to this place. I'll click on add. It has added table 2 here. So current table, I'll click on current table, then come here. I want to add this one to it. I'll select the one that I want to add and then click on OK. Then the tables has added. If you go down now, and check from 350. This is 350. Okay, 350. Sorry. So we did 350. It added table 1 to table 1, which is wrong. So we are going to undo what we have done. This is a very important, this applied step is another important part that you're going to take note of in Power Query. The applied step is same as your Control Z. In Excel, you use Control Z, but here there's no Control Z. Control Z doesn't work, so you use append. So we can now see we wanted to add table 2 to table 1, but we added table 1 to table 1. As you can see, started from 101 again. So we just cancel that thing that we did. And we do it again, append. Then we come here. We want to add table 2 because we have just 2 tables. If we have more than 2 tables, we use this one. You understand? But here we have just 2 tables. So the table 1 is automatically selected already. You add table 2. Then click on OK. Then we'll go down. You can see it has added table 2 from where table 1 stopped. You can see 350. This is 350 where the other one stopped. Table 1 started from 351 down to 600. You check, the last one is 600. And the name of that last person, the last customer is Wilma Market. This Wilma Market, if you go to table 2, you're going to see that the last person here, the last number here is 600, and the name of the person is Wilma Market, right? So we no longer have business with table 2, but you cannot delete table 2 from here. You cannot delete it. It will tell you that it's impossible. So just leave it. You don't have any business with it anyway. Let's work on just table 1. Whatever we've done to table 1 is okay.
Someone asked you to please go over it again.
On the appending, right? Okay.
Yes.
I'll do that quickly. Remember, apply step. Don't joke with your apply step. It's a very important table. It helps you to go back. All right. So I'll just click on cancel. This your apply step in Power Query is very, very powerful. Once you launch this, these are the different steps you've taken. Each step you take is going to record it and show you. So here, we want to add these 2 tables together because they are the same thing. We just want to, put this one as a continuation of this one. This one ended in 350 table 1. 350 is the highest number here. And this one started from 351. And the whole information is the same thing. The whole table columns are the same thing. If they are not the same thing, the appending is not going to work. So your table, you must check all the headings and see that they are the same thing. All right. So table 1 is what we want to add to table 2. The one that you want to add to the other one, click on the main one that you want to add the other one to. Then go to your append and click on append. You have the option of, if you're adding just 2 tables, have only 2 tables here, we'll use this option. But if you have more than 2 tables, you now use this one. You select all the tables you want to add, append. Then you just click on append. You want to append this one, you click on append. But we are selecting just 2 tables here. So we just come here and select the second table. Since we are already on the first one, or the one that we want to add is this second one. So you click on OK, and it has added. All right? It has added. So if you come to your that table that we added, you can see that this is the heading. This first one is the heading. When we came to Power Query, it automatically made the first row the heading. Look at the thing here, promoted header. Is on this our applied step. This first 4 step automatically happens once you launch Power Query, because it records that you got this source, that is from where you got your data set from. Then you navigated, you move from Power BI to Power Query. That's the navigation it recorded. Then the promoted header, it automatically makes the first row your header. Whether it is your header or not, Power Query makes it your header. You can undo that if you don't want, but normally your first row should be your header, whichever way, because that's going to form your column, right? Then change type. It means you change from one type to another. Data type, we talked about data type last time, but I'm still going to talk about it now. So we've merged these 2 tables and our tables are together right now. We'll now start our cleaning. The next thing we need to start is our cleaning, our data cleaning, which is the main thing that you're here for as a data analyst. This is going to be the biggest part of your job, data cleaning. All right, you're going to spend more of your time cleaning data in your job life. Okay, so the first type of data cleaning that you're going to do is to go this thing column by column and make sure that all the data types are correct. Because when you load data in Power BI or in Power Query, sorry, it is going to automatically assume your data type for you. How it does that is that it's going to go into each of these columns and see the type of data that is there. You see that these ones are numbers. Okay, numbers are called integer. It will automatically give this column integer data type. This is the data type. When you click on the data type, you're going to see all the available data type in Power BI, in Power Query. These are all the available data type. All right. We'll have the decimal number, the fixed number. That is, if you want to do anything with money, money, yeah. If you want to do anything with numbers, it gives it as a data type. If you want to do anything with percentage, with time, with date, with all of that, text. So it automatically selects data type as numbers because it has gone through it and seen number. When it comes to the next column, it will go through it and see all numbers, and it will select it as numbers. All right. That's why you must make sure that each of your column contains one data type. Don't put number and name and in one data column. Always make sure you separate the data column, the data types. All right. Make sure that each column contains, if it's number, if it is names, if it is country, if it is all of these things. Anyway, you're not going to be the one getting this data. I think this data will always be given to you already. All right. So, but when it is given to you and there are faults, maybe here you have number and name. If you have number and name in this column, it is going to see most of the numbers. Once it sees a letter here, it's automatically going to tell you that this thing contains both number and letter. It is then left for you to correct it, convert it to letters or just numbers, and then select the data type. So it does everything for all of the columns. As you can see, it has given them data type. So let's start cleaning by, first of all, making sure that all the data types that it has suggested for us are all correct. That's your number one thing. Once you get your data type wrong, automatically every other thing you're doing is going to be wrong. Because if you have letters where you're supposed to have numbers, your visualization is going to be wrong. We can never get the correct figures, all right? So let's start with the first one. We'll click on the first one. It has given us a number data type, whole number. You just go through it and make sure that everything there is number and there's no issue there. Fine, there's no issue there. We'll come to the second one. It gave it number as well. So you can also change the name of the heading. If this order, you don't really like this other number, this is other number, I want to call it other number so that any person that sees it will know that it's other number. So you just double click on it, it will highlight for you to change. So we want to change it to other number. You cannot leave space. You can either write it like this, other number, like this, or you can use this thing, underscore number, like this. When you click out, it's going to save as that number. And here in our applied step, it has renamed it and showed us what we did. So the same thing, customer name, we check, customer numbers. These are the customer numbers, like the customer ID. All right, you can also call it customer ID. All right, and this is the other ID. I think it's better to call it other ID. I think it's better, yeah. I just prefer to call it other ID so that this other number looks somehow good. So the same thing with customer ID. I just call it customer ID. I hope you all understand what we are doing. So we are done with these two. This is why people spend more time cleaning data because they have a lot of things to do. So we'll come to customer's name. We'll have to check and see that this customer's name has, okay, all the things there are names, all right? These are all names, fine. So it gives it as text. Look at it, the data type is text, which is correct. So we'll leave it like that, it is text. That's good. So we move forward. But the next thing we may want to do is to remove this space. You can see that the customer number has spaces around here. So you may want to remove it, though it's not a problem, but you can just remove it because it's not supposed to have space. And to do that, you can use split column to do that, to remove these spaces. So if you click on split column, it's going to ask you, how do you want to split column? So we want to know how many positions, these spaces, how many positions did they take? So we can split column by position. All right, but let's use delimiter first. Or let's use a number of characters. Okay, let's use number of characters. Let's see. Let's try 4 to see. We click on OK. So we can see that it's split into 4. So the space took 4 characters. This is another 4 characters out of those names. It has split into 4 characters. So we can now see that our space took 4 characters, right? So I'll cancel the step we took to bring back the name the way it was. So that I now know that it is 4 characters. So I can now use position to remove it. Okay, so we'll wait for it to return. Split column, cancel split column. It is back. So I come back here, I click on split column, I use position, and I know that these spaces contain 4 positions, all right? So I click on position. You can also use delimiter. Okay, let's try delimiter.
I think it's easier and better to use delimiter.
Okay, if you use delimiter now,
yes.
Space, we are using space since we have spaces that we want to remove. All right, so I will just click on OK. Let's see how it will split it. So look at how we splitted it. It picked up those 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. It picked up, then it splitted this is the surname and the name, like the first name and the last name, because those customers, they have last name and first name. But before the last name and the first, and you know there's a space between the first name and the last name, that's why I splitted it like this. And before that, they have 4 spaces, which is this 4 space, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what we wanted to remove. So from here, we can easily just remove it, just click here, delete it, but that's not the best practice. Let's go back, change type, split column. We have them back, all right? So let's do the right thing now. You can see those spaces. We'll come back to split column. Okay, Bishop, just hold on. We come back to split column, then we do by position. If you watch the last video, you will see this thing. Then by position, we know that the first 4 positions are spaces, right? Then if I click on OK, those 4 positions are gone. Those 4 positions are gone. We now have our names, first thing instead of spaces. So they are gone. They are gone. Fine. Now look at the name. The name here, the data type is correct. These are alphabets. Yeah, correct. But the name, I don't like the name. I just want to have it as customer's name. So I just remove the one. Customer's
left that place.
Customer's
Please,
name.
can you repeat that?
Hello?
Please, I didn't get out the position left before the names.
The spaces,
Please, can
right?
you repeat it?
Okay.
Yes, the space before the name.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I have the spaces back now. I've returned them back. Can you see the 4 spaces? Now, most of the data you have, some of them may not have this space, but I don't know for any reason why this one have it. Maybe the person that imputed this thing or have these spaces while typing, or maybe before they saved, they didn't know that this space is added. For any reason, this space will just be there. But for so many reasons, they may not be there in most of your data.
The instructor said he did it intentionally to show.
Okay, good. If that is the case, then this is just to show you how to split out these 4 spaces. So we come here, we did by delimiter, and it showed us that this space took 4 spaces. It could be just 1 space, it could be just 2 spaces. In Excel, let me show you. It's there in Excel. Look at the space in Excel. So let me add a insert column. This is the column. So I want to put this thing here. If you want to do it in Excel, you use trim. Just trim. With this trim function, it will do that for you. Text. Which text do you want to clean? Just click on the text and click on enter. It has trimmed it for us. Let's make it bigger. So here, we no longer have the space. Trim has removed, no matter the number of space, you don't need to know the number of space, even if it's 100 space, even if it's just 1 space, Excel trim will do it. So if I drag down, you see, they don't have that space again. It is gone. So, but in Power BI, it is split that you use to do it. So you come here, you go to split, click on split. If this thing wasn't there, if these spaces were not there, I wanted to split the surname and the name, the first name and the last name, you just use split by delimiter. You choose what? Space. You use space as your delimiter and then split. It will just split only the surname and the last name. But now it saw 4 spaces before it met the first name and the last name. That's why it splitted, because it told you to split anywhere you see space, split. Anywhere you see space, split. It brought out the first space, the second space, and this is just to tell us that we had 4 spaces, because by looking at it, you cannot tell that this is 4 spaces, but right? You can't really tell. You can just see that this is a space, but you don't know how many. But this has helped us to show us that these are 4 spaces. And then it now saw the first name, saw another space before the second name. That's why it now splitted the first name and the second name. That's why I have them separated. So now all that this split function, this particular first one has shown us is that there are 4 spaces here. That is what this split by delimiter has shown us. So we now know how many spaces that we need to remove. So we now go to by position, so that we can just type in that 4 spaces. We want to remove it and click OK. It has removed the 4 spaces. That's amazing. So we are done with this one, but we'll check again. The data type is correct. These are letters. There are no numbers here. Even if there are numbers, it doesn't really matter, because somebody's name can be, somebody's company name can be U for life. U for life, it can be U, like for letter 4. So it doesn't really matter. It's always make sure the data type is letters. Then the name, I don't like this one in front of the name. I just want to remove it. I'll double click and then delete the one. So this particular one is clean. I'll go to the next one, the gender. So the gender is male and female, all right? Male and female. Then the type is, they are letters, right? So it's A and B is correct. Then gender, the name is correct as well. So we just keep cleaning. I'll just do all of them faster now. ABC, the city is correct. Everything there is okay. The country is correct. Everything in the country is okay. Let's proceed. We'll come to the other dates. The other dates, the name is correct. The data type is dates. Okay, the data type, you check the data type. It is supposed to be dates, but it's showing us numbers, right? So you have to convert it to data type. You come here. You want to convert it to date. Let's convert it to date and time first. It is date and time. So it is going to, when you click on this date and time, it's going to show you the date and the time. But the time, make sure that the information you have on your table are really necessary information. There's no point having information that doesn't add any value, that doesn't have any meaning to the table. So the time here are all 000. They have no meaning. So we need to change the data type again from date time to just date. Just want to see only the date. If you want to see only the time, it's going to remove this date and show us only this 0000. But what we want is the date. To click on this data type and change it to date, and it's going to tell us, just click on replace. It's going to replace just the date. All right,
Mr. Chris, I think Bishop is been raising her hand. We don't know what he wants to say.
Okay, Bishop, I don't know if I can unmute you right now. Bishop. Okay.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Bishop.
For effort, all of you. My question is, you are using the limiter to count number of spaces. Yes, they were about 4. So my question there is, why not delete each of the columns that are vacant instead of going to cancel everything and start afresh?
Yes, you can delete.
The 4 columns that we don't need. I thought the shortcut would have been to delete them. Yeah, nothing like that.
Okay, yeah, sure, Bishop. You can delete a column. We'll get to that. We'll delete a column and see how to delete column. So let's proceed. Thank you so much for that question. So we are done. The data type in this date and time is correct. the name is correct, we are okay with the name, then we proceed. The product type, we have from product 1 to product 10, and the product number is okay. The data type is, it has letter and number, and whenever your column has data and number, you always have it as text. All right, so the data type is correct. The product, the name, product number, let's just have it as product. There's no need putting number. Okay, so just have it as products. Then the quantity is in numbers. Yeah, this is correct. Is in numbers, it is correct. Then we get to the selling price. This is the selling price. The data type is in numbers because it is in numbers, but this is a price. So you have to change it to price, even though it's numbers here and it has told you that it's a number. So you have to change because this is money. You're talking about money here. This is now price, selling price. So the first thing we need to do is change the name to selling price. I bring it down, put your underscore, put your price like this. All right, so it is now selling price. But these numbers, we need to change the data type to money. This is fixed decimal number. Click on this one. That's converted it to money. I will tell you the reason when we begin to visualize. When we get to the next page, when we move this into Power BI, you see the reason why this is necessary. All right. So the next one is the cost. This is the cost. Since we have selling price, it is wise that we turn this thing to cost price so that it will just make sense. So call it cost price. All right, good. And it is also money, so we should change it to what? Fixed decimal. This is now correct. So we are cleaning our data. We're almost done. This is, what is this? TSP. So what is TSP? Total selling price. So we have to put it the name. Let's not abbreviate anything, okay?
Please let us mute our mics, please.
Please, I will not mute anybody again. If you cannot mute your mic, please just be an adult. Now we are all adults here. So total selling price, right? Oh, have here also TSP. Total selling price. Remember, you cannot have space. You have to use underscore or camel case. You have to use camel case or underscore to rename. So these are total selling price, okay? And it's in numbers. It is correct because it suggested number for us because it saw figures here. But we now know that this is money. You have to change it to fixed decimal number. We click on fixed decimal number. It's now seeing it as money. All right. So total cost price, I'll also change that. Total cost price. Yeah, this is now correct. Total cost price. And it is seen as, this is called decimal number. Because of this point, I think it saw 180.5. So because of this one that I saw, it now gave it as decimal number, but it is money. So we'll put it in fixed decimal. Then the profits, the same thing, we'll put it in fixed decimal. So I believe you know why we're doing this. Now, it added 2 extra columns. This is column 15 and column 16. It called it both number and letter because along the line, it saw 0, it saw numbers, it saw, but we are seeing null here. Null means 0. It is completely useless. This column, these 2 columns is useless to us. So what we do is to delete them. We click on this place. You can see remove column. This is a column. This is a column. If it were a row, if we wanted to remove just a row, maybe this row, this first row, we use remove row. All right, but we want to delete column. So I'll click on delete column. That column is gone. We deleted it because it's useless to add info. We don't need it. It has no information that's relevant to what we are doing. So here, this one also has the same thing. Remove column. Oh, so guys, our data is 100% clean. We have done an amazing job. Clap for yourselves. So we've done a great job. We've cleaned this data. It is 100% clean. All the data types checked. All the column names checked. Everything. The column names, everything is checked. We remove all unnecessary informations. Our data is now clean. The question is, what next? Now, the job of Power Query is done. You have no business with Power Query anymore. What do you need to do? You need to now load it into your Power BI and begin your visualization. We need to load this in Power BI and visualization. So to do that, you see where we have close and apply. It is same thing as close and load. It's same thing as load. So we click on it. Once I click on it, it is going to move this information into the Power BI interface. So I'll click on it. It is going to screen sharing. Are you still seeing my screen?
We can't see your screen again.
Okay. I think while moving, it actually turned off the screen. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it has loaded that data into our Power BI. Power Query has done its job. It is gone. Welcome to Power BI. Now, let's start by explaining everything you can see here. Like I told you earlier, the data section will have all your tables. We have two tables here, table 1 and table 2, which we worked on. But remember, we don't need table 2, so we can actually remove it or hide it. I can just click here and you see where you see hide table. You can hide it. But before I hide it, I want to show you something first. So this is the table 1, which is the one we just worked on. You can click on this arrow to bring up all those columns. These are all the columns you'll be working on. These columns you're seeing here is the same thing as your pivot table. Let me show you. Can you see the Excel? Well, I've deleted that pivot table, sorry. But it's that same section where you see on your part where you can just drag and drop so that you have column and row, value, column, and this thing. So this is it. These are all the tables, okay? So the next one is your visualization. This visualization is where you have all your charts that you'll be working with. And then these are all the things you'll be designing with. You already know all these ones, okay? Then when you come here, look at this place. This center here is where you're going to have your visualization, your dashboard. This is your dashboard. You can see we have in page 1. This is in page 1. You can add as many pages as you want by clicking on this plus icon. And then it is on desktop mode. You're seeing it on desktop mode. If you want to see what it's going to look like on mobile, you just click here. It will show you what it will look on your phone, what your design on your dashboard will look on the phone. Look at this side. This is my left side. This first part is your root view, report view. That is what you're seeing in your visualization. The second part contains your tables, all the tables you're working with. Those two tables, as you can see them here, table 1 and table 2. These are all the columns of the tables, all the columns you've claimed. Then this part is your model. It's your schematic. You can see the two tables we work on. Assuming we claim them separately, then we are going to use anything common between the two tables to join them together. Maybe if we have products here and we have products here, we can just use products to link them together, and we can now see the two of them together. But because we did not work on two of them together, it's actually no need. Maybe in other data set that we're going to be working subsequently, we can now do that. But just know that the schematic shows you the diagram of your table, how they are linked. Once we link them now, you're going to see that there's going to be a link in between the two of them. But since there is no linking, let's leave that, and that's all. Then DAX. This DAX is our next, maybe on Tuesday, we're going to talk about DAX. DAX is just simply going to teach you on how to use formulas on this visualization, but don't worry about that. It's quite simple. How to use formulas and, different kind of formulas on Power BI. So we'll come back onto our visualization. Now, we don't want to use table 2 because all we need in table 2 are in table 1. So I'll just hide it. You can just right-click on it to hide it, or see these 3 arrows here. You can click on the 3 arrows, it will give you the same thing. When I click on hide, it is gone. You cannot see it anymore. It is gone. You are only seeing table 1. But if you want to bring it back, just go to that your schematic. That's it. As you can see, we've turned it off here. If you turn it on here, it's going to come back. You come back here, it is back. You can see it here. So we don't want to see, just hide it. Since it's useless, we don't need anything from it. So now, guys, let's start our visualization quickly so that just in the next 10 minutes, we are done. So if you click on this arrow, it's going to open everything. But let me show you something. Before you start, let's go to Google. I want to show you something on Google. Just come here, type sales report, sales dashboard for Power BI. That's something you're going to look.
You can see Google.
You cannot see my Google. Let me share the screen again. Maybe this is my Google sheet. Okay. Can you see Google now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you see, I type sales dashboard report. Now, any sales dashboard that you're doing is going to have something that is very important. Let me click on images. If you look at all of them, they have something in common. Look at this. At a glance, okay, first of all, the coloring, you're going to see that the colorings, most companies, when you start working for a company, most companies from my research, they all like light colors. Most especially could just be blue or green or white. Companies love white, light color, okay? So always make sure that you use a light color in your dashboard, blue, green, or white. If you see all of this dashboard, you can see that they have the same thing in common. This person used blue totally, this person used white and all of that. Then there's something that is very glaring, like obvious. When you look at the dashboard, the first thing that your eye goes to are these figures. At a glance, you can just see the total figure, the total money they made, maybe total sales, their total profits. This one is total countries or total customers that bought from them. Then this one is number of countries. Then this one is all of that. So at a glance, this thing is called the KPI card. KPI card at a glance, because as a data analyst, you're not going to be reporting to customers or the public. The most of the persons you're going to be reporting to is either your manager or the stakeholders.
Prince, can you mute?
Hello.
Prince, mute.
All right, so the most of the persons you're going to be reporting to all through your work
Prince,
time.
you are disturbing us.
All through your work time is going to be your manager or your stakeholder. And your manager is not interested in your design. Your stakeholder is the owner of the company, for example, maybe the CEO. The CEO, what they have in their mind is just how much did we make, how many countries, just how many figures. They're interested in figures. Just don't tell me stories.
Mr. Marty,
Mr.
Marty, mute up.
I want to see at a glance if my company is doing well. If it's not doing well, what do I need to do and all of that? So you can't bother them with colors. They're not interested in your colors. So at a glance, you can see that any sales dashboard you see here, they have a KPI card, the total figure on top. It can be on top, it can be by the side. Look at them. They all have it in common. Any sales report you see, they have this thing in common. So look at this one, is by the side. So at a glance, you can see that they made a total sale of 15 million. They made a total profit of, out of this 15 million, they made a total profit of maybe 771,000 and all of that. So look at them, all the same. So in your visualization, have this at the back of your mind without being told. You must have these KPI cards. All right? So let me go back to Power BI. Can you see my Power BI?
Not yet.
Okay. I think I have to keep sharing, switching screen, sharing. Okay.
Then the figures you showed us, are they different from the slicers?
Yes, they're obviously different. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, the Power BI screen, right? The Power BI screen.
Yes.
Okay. So those KPI cards are just at a glance, want to see the total sales, the total figure. Even a non-technical person who comes across your dashboard can just look at it and, oh, this company made a total profit of 1 million. This company made a total sale of, without even looking at the graphs or the charts. Okay. So the first thing we need to do now is just to put those KPI card. So the first thing you want to do is to put your total sales, right? So come to sales. This is the total sales that we made. All right. So you just bring it to your dashboard here. So you can do that by dragging it and dropping it here, or just by clicking on this box. Once you click on this box, it will automatically appear here. Did you see what I did? Is either you drag it and drop, or you just click on it. So, but you can see it came out here as a graph, as a chart, sorry. So These are all the visualization tools that you're using, all these tools you see here. And what we want to have here is our total sales for the whole year, all the years, maybe 3 years or 4 years. And to change it to number, you want to have it as a number. You come here, choose. This is where you choose the right distance that you want to use. You can have it as line, you can have it as anything that you want. But what we want is KPI card. And look at it, it's called card. So we click on the card. It automatically turns to our total sales. So keep it where we want to keep it. You can drag it around, you can reduce the size, the height, you can also reduce the size like this. Then this is what we have here. We want to keep it here. So let's just assume that we are modeling this one is here. So the next thing we want to have is our profit. So you come here and then see profit. You just click on profit. It's going to give you profit as I didn't click on it, just click on the box. Once you click on the box, it's going to, okay, you can also drag it. If you drag it and drop here, it's going to show you this chart. So you just come to your visualization and click on card. It's going to turn to numbers. Okay. So now I want to edit this one. Let me edit it first because I want to change this name to our total sales. This is total sales, right? So I'll come here, just anyone you want to edit, you click on it. I click on this one. I'll come here, total sales. Look at where you have total sales. Once you're on that one, it will come here on this visualization under here. Let me bring it up. So you can click on it, you can double click on it, and it becomes editable. You can clean everything here and write total sales. Once you double click on it, it will highlight. Then I'll come out. Once I come out, the name change. Oh, sorry, I didn't click on enter. Let me click on it again. Double click, then rename it total sales. Then you click on enter. Once you click on enter, it changes. Can you see that? It changes. So if you want to 71K is the total sales. If you want to put the sign, maybe dollar sign is $1, or you want to, you just come to that particular one, click on it, look at this total sale. I'll click on total sale once. Once I click on it, it's going to bring up these things for you to format it. I came to total sale, clicked on it, it brought out these things for you. So you can also edit the name here, total sales. Then here, fixed decimal, you can also change the data type if it's not in the correct data type. But I think it is fixed decimal means money. Then the formatting is a whole number. Then here you want to put it in dollar sign. So I'll just click on dollar to add the dollar sign for us. That's added the dollar sign. But it has added decimal place. You don't want to have decimal place. You just want to have figures, all right? Whole numbers. So look at this place, auto. This place, just click on up. It will remove that this thing, $71K. That's what we made, $71K. So here is to add a decimal number. So you have zero decimal number. I don't want any decimal place, 0 decimal number, right? So that's why we have 0 here, and it's fixed. So to edit this card further, you can see visualization. You can see here, format your visual. To format this thing to the way you want. Maybe you want to change the color, you want to, you want to bolden it or all of that. You click on this place. Everything here will change. Call out value, call out label. You want to click on general. You click on general, it will give you the complete visualization, the complete tools to edit what you want to edit. The properties, maybe the height, the size, whatever, you can edit that. The title, you can also click on title to edit the title. You click on it. But I like that. Something I like doing, as you can see in all my Power BI dashboard that I pasted on the group, I always like adding effects, shadow. I always add shadow to it. So you just come to this shadow and click on turn it on. You can see that I've added shadow to it. That's very good. I just like adding it. It makes it look great. I think some of those ones you're going to see on Google. If you go to Google and search for sales dashboard, most of them will have this thing too. So you want to actually edit it. Yeah, I've added my shadow. I'll close it. Then effect. I've added my effect, my shadow. Then on the header icon, if you want to edit it, you can change the color to anything you want. Maybe if you want red, you can change it to red. But remember, we talked about color to maintain just the normal color. This is fine for me. This is the editing part. This thing is what is changing here. So we don't want that. Let's close it. Then the toolkits, the alternate text, all of this, you can edit everything here. If you come to the visual, let's check this one. You can see text wrap. Okay, that's fine. This one, we don't need anything here. Go to general. So we want to edit this text. Maybe the size is too small, or want to change the color. That is the title, right? You click on title. Okay, it doesn't have subtitle. Heading, the heading icon, this is it. If you want to change the color from this one, maybe you want to change it to red, you can click on here and see it's going to change to, okay, no, this one, I want to leave it the way it is. Okay. Toolkits, no. Alternate text, no, okay. Property, position, padding, anything you want to do to this thing, you can also do it here. Okay. The visual call out value, come to the call out value, you can increase the size. But I think usually the default that they give you is always very okay by me. I always like working with the visual. Category label, you can also do this here. Then we'll come back here, total sales. You can click on this total sale. In case you don't want to have the total sale, you want to have maybe the average sales, you can change to average here. If you want to have the count, if you want to have the variation, any value, anything you want to have. But what we want to have at this KPI card is just at a glance, we want to see the total sale that you have made, all right, which is fine. If you want to change it to average, you click on average, you change to average, which doesn't make sense, right? So you want to just show the total sale. And that's all. So here you can also filter, but we'll see where we use that. All right, so this is looking good. The color is white, it's very okay. This is the second one. I can just bring the second one close. Then instead of going through all those editing that I did, all those customization, I can just copy everything I've done here and paste it here. It automatically apply. So I just click on this one that I want to copy. You see this format painter here. If I click on it, it has given me this thing. I'll come here and just click on this one. It has carried the same formatting. I don't have to go through doing the same thing again. So I can just reduce the size the way I want. Maybe I want the size to be like this. I just come here. I want the size to be like this. So this one is too long. I will reduce it a bit. So I'm very okay with it. But the number is in decimal place. You need to have whole numbers, okay? Make sure you have whole numbers here. So the sum of the profits, total profit that we made, you come here, just click on, this is sum of profit, and this is the profit. Just come to the profit, click on it. It will bring up this space for you. All right. So you want to remove the decimal place. This is the decimal place. You click on up 0. It will remove the decimal place and turn it to a whole number. But because of my location, this is in my location. It knows that I'm in Nigeria, right? My laptop is in Nigeria. It's using my laptop location and my laptop time. That's why it is suggesting Naira for me by default. So I have to be the one to change it. So when you're here, you can see currency. If you click here, you can choose any currency of your choice, any currency that you want to work with. So we are working with dollars. So you can also click general currency. I think general currency is also dollars. So but you can just choose dollars from here and it will change to dollars. Fine. I hope we're all following. Please, are we all following? Hello? Are we all following the class?
Yes, we are.
All right, good. So I also want to have my total, I want to know how many countries bought this thing from us, or how many countries are we selling to, are we covering currently? So you come here, you see the currency. We're actually answering some business questions here. All right. So we come here, just click on currency. It is going to bring it up here. Now, currency, normally country, sorry, it is country, yeah. Normally country, in Tableau, country will show you map. You're supposed to see the map of the country. But here, map is not enabled, all right? I can actually enable map, even though it's not map that we need, but I can just go to my settings. If I go to files, click on file, I go to my option and setting, I come to options, then it's going to bring up a list of dialogues, things that I can do. Let me just wait for a while for it to load. See, it has loaded. So I go to security, look at security, then I can now change map and field map visual. If I choose this thing and click on it and click OK, it's going to bring up the map. So let me just do this thing again, cancel, it is gone. I put the country back there again. So it's now showing me the map of the world, pointing out just those countries that we are selling to. Look at those countries that we are selling to, just the countries that we are selling to, all right? But that's not what we want. We just want to see the number of countries, just the figure. So remember, we use our KPI card. We click on KPI card. It is not showing. So we can just remove that. Click here to remove that. Remove. Then we'll bring it back again. Country. Convert it to KPI card. I don't know why it is. Okay, first country, showing us the first country. So what we can do is to come here. We want to see the number of country. Click on this country here. All right, click. Then you can see first country. That is what is showing us. First country. You can see just the last, if you want to see the last country, what we want to see is the count. How many countries are we selling to currently? So count and count distinct. This count will show you, if for example, we have USA appearing 7 times in the table, it is going to count USA as 7 times if you're using this normal count. But distinct count is to just show you the unique value. It's going to remove duplicates and then show you just the unique value. So I click on count distinct. This tells us that we are selling to just 46 countries. Let me do it again. Let me explain the two. If you come here, you can see count, and you're not using count here because if USA, for example, appear 10 times, you're going to count USA. Let me click it and show you what it means, what it should show. See, it's showing us 500 countries. 500 countries means if Brazil appeared 50 times, it's going to count it as 50 different countries, which is not what we want. We want to remove duplicate and show only unique value. So if Brazil appeared 50 times, it's going to count it as just one Brazil because it's one country, right? So that's why you must use distinct here. So we use distinct to show that we are selling to just 4 countries. So we want to change the name as well. Double click to change the name. Maybe what you want to have here is just number of countries. Number of countries. So that is fine. Click on enter to save here. Fine. Is there any other thing we need to know? Can any person suggest what we need to know? Maybe you want to see at a glance the number of words. I think we already have the profits we made. We already have the total number of countries. We already have the total number of sales. I think that's basically all. Can we also have the number of products that we are selling? There's no point. We already know how many products we are selling, right? So I'll just copy this style here, format Penta, paste it here. That is fine. So I can move my cards the way I want. I can reduce the size. You know, I want to have them here. I want to bring this one. I want to have it here. You just design your dashboard the way anyhow you want. Very beautiful dashboard. Good. So maybe you want to have the title of your dashboard here. Maybe just your title. So you can go to insert, Then you have your visual model, shape. Look at shape. The same thing with Excel. So just click on shape, choose any shape that you want to use to name your title, click on it, then just draw the shape. You can see the shape here. Maybe the title here. Then you click on text box to be able to write, because you want to write. So what do you want to write? Maybe the name of our sales board is maybe Smart Sales Reports. That's the name of our dashboard. Our company sales reports. Good. I don't know the way it is. Sales reports. So you can style it whichever way you want. Maybe increase the listing. You can increase the size. You can change the color. I think the color is fine the way it is. Black. We are maintaining black, right? You can just highlight it. Highlight it. Sorry. Then you can increase the size to maybe 18. It's bigger now. You can also change the color to black. I think it's okay. You can anyhow you want it really. It's fine. Then you want to move it to, want to make it small. Then you want to move it to this place. Just drag it and put it where you want to put it. But I think we may not even need this dashboard. We may not need it. Just remove it. That's no point. Since we already have this as a card. All right. So you can just increase the size. It should be longer than this ones because it's your heading. So maybe like this is fine. Then you can move the text to the center. Should be in the center. Yeah, you know, just align it anyhow you want. Edit it whichever way you want. And that's fine. So underline, we don't want to underline it. We'll leave it the way it is. So we can just come and copy this thing. Go back to our homes, copy the printer and paste it here. So it has taken the same shape. You can actually color it whichever way you want. Maybe you want to put color, but I think I just love, okay, a color will make sense in it because it's the name of our listing. So I click on color painter. Maybe I want to use blue. Yeah, blue is fine. Or I can even bold in it. Let me bold in everything. That's fine. So I bring it to the middle by just coming here and clicking enter. So I can also change the font. If I want to change the font here, if I want to give it a different font, I can also change the font. So I don't want to waste too much time on this editing. So fine, we have our dashboard the way we want it. We can now start answering some business questions. All right? Are we together? Please, can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Are we following? I want to understand what we are doing. I hope nobody
Yeah,
has...
we're following.
Okay, good.
Follow.
Good. That's fine. Thank you. So we have these things the way we want it now. We can now start answering some business questions. So let's start answering some business questions. Business questions simply means your KPI. So let's look at this table and now answer questions. What possible business questions can we have? Let's have your answers. Let's say number one. Maybe you can just answer 4 business questions. It's fine. Okay. Maybe we want to know the country with the highest sales, country that gave us the highest profits, country with the highest sales. Sales and profits is the same thing now. So country with the highest profits or sales, yeah, you can call it sales. If you use sales and profit, it still give you the same result. So I want to make it bigger. So I'll move this one. So what we are doing now is that we are getting our KPI, guys. KPI simply means, now when anybody gives you a data set or a question, usually they will give you the KPI, what they want you to get, right? But this one didn't come with it, so we are just trying to form questions. So I say country with the highest sales. All right, so can you suggest, you just want to have 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. I did this one so that I can understand what we are doing. Are you seeing my Excel dashboard? Hello? Can you see my Excel dashboard?
Yes, we can see your Excel dashboard.
Okay. So can anybody suggest, I suggested country, we want to see the country with the highest sales, because that's what visualization is all about. So at a glance, we just want to see which country are we making more sales, so that we can know how to, can anybody suggest
the variation between the percentage of male and female?
Okay, male and female. Which gender? Gender with the highest.
Yes.
Okay. Gender. Okay, best performing gender. Best performing gender by percentage, right? Did I get it right, boss? Is it what you mean?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. Best performing gender. All right, so any other one by a percentage? Any other one? Guys, are you all here? Okay, I think I drafted some best country, year with the highest sales, best selling products, average sales by gender. Okay, we've done the average sales by gender. So this is the same thing as best performing gender or average sales by gender. Any other one, guys? Anybody? Country with the highest sale. The product, let's see the product that's giving us the highest money.
Yeah.
Products. Yes. Or top selling products. You can just call it top selling products. Top selling products. So we are just trying to answer some business questions, okay?
Okay, date with the highest sales.
Okay, good. Best selling years, okay. Okay. Best selling years, okay, because that is grouped in years, okay. Fine. We have four KPI now. If you have more, you can actually add, but let's start with the 4 so that we don't waste time on this thing. Our time is already almost gone. We have just 10 minutes. So let's start with the country with the highest sales. How do we know the country with the highest sales? So we come here, we type, so we want to compare country with the highest sales. What we need to do is just to come here, click on country, then click on sales. Sales and profit is going to give us the same thing. So we can use profits, country that's giving us the highest profit. So you can see that it is showing us map, but that's not what we want. Here we need to choose the graph that we want to use. And like I said, each graph has their meaning, why you must use them. Now you want to know the country with the highest sales. It's as simple. You just want to see country and sales. So we want to use bar charts. You click on bar charts. Bar chart will give you all the countries. Maybe you don't want to see all the countries. You just want to see maybe 5 countries. You don't want really to see. So you just come to filter. Look at filter. You can see country here, right? The next one you can see profit because you selected country and profit. So if you want to filter crop, you can filter anyhow you want. I just click on this drop down. Maybe I want to see just 5 countries. I'll just come here. Maybe you want to filter, you want to sort it by, you click on this by top number, basic filtering, advanced filtering, anyone you want to be. If you want to, maybe the top 5 countries, this ME number, top 10, top 5, top anything. But also here you can just click, let's leave it at basic. You can just click, if I want to select only 1, it will give me only 1. If I want to select only 2, I want to select only 3, I want to select only 4 or only 5. It will give me like that. All right, so maybe I just want to work with only top 5 countries. I'll come here, it's showing me every country. I want to see that USA bought the highest, so I want to see USA. The second highest is maybe 48. I saw 48 somewhere. 48 is from Brazil. I'll put Brazil. I just want to, you know, the next one is 39. The next one maybe 12. Okay. 13, 21, 31. You put Japan. Here, 14, you know, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 countries. You can have as many, or you can have all of them. What?
41 is
Sorry,
there.
can't you filter it? Can't you filter it by number so that you can just
I
arrange it
just showed
from
you. I
the
just showed
top
you how
two?
to. I just showed you how to filter it here. But this is another way. This is also a way
No,
of
but you,
filtering. This is also a way of filtering. Or you can also work with all of the countries. I just come here and I have all the countries. Of course, we want to see all the countries. But there's something I want to point out. Let me just use a few. Okay. Let's just do it this way. You can do it whichever way. You know, you're going to practice this thing. The assignment is, I'll give you all assignment to practice this thing yourself and submit it in the group, you know, before the next class. So I want to work with just US. Just don't worry. I want to work with this one, Saudi Arabia. I think they bought anyone that is above 20. This one is not up to 20. I don't want to use it. Anyone, this is 31. This is 21. I just want to select it. This is 29. Yeah, this is 48. I'm okay. This will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. I think not that 20. So I'm fine with these 6 countries. I want to work with just these 6 countries. So we can see now selecting the kind of chart that you use is very important. Bar chart actually tells the story well. You can see the number, you can see the country, you can see the thing they bought, that, you know, the sizes and all that. It tells the story. Now, let's try to use another kind of chart. This one is also important. If, for example, we had used all the countries, and let me show you something. If we had used all the countries, look at what I'm seeing here. If we wanted to use all the country, the name is Aslanti, and it is not nice. You don't want your manager to start bending their head to come and start checking what country is this. It's one of the rules of, is your hand up, Mr. Augustine? I can hear you. Okay, so you don't want your manager to start bending their head to check the country. So the best chart to use when your details are like this, whether they are bending or they are slanty, is to use this one. It's also a bar chart, but it's a clustered bar chart. It's now spread that name and write it normally like this. It will now be straight. And it's still the same information. You can still see that USA has the highest sales and Saudi Arabia has the lowest sales here. It is still conveying the same information. Okay, so we don't use this one. The two of them are the same because of this slanty. But you notice that when we now reduce the countries to just 6 countries, it eliminated that the names are actually aligned. So the more space. Do you have a question? Please, if you have questions, you can ask. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 countries. Let me make it 6. 21. Let me add this 21. 29. Okay, China. You can actually collapse all these things if you don't want. You can collapse them, you can bring them back. Okay, so did you guys see what I did? Because my country now, I'm seeing the name is normal, is under here is normal. So I'll use bar chart. It is very okay because it's normal and it tells the story very well. If I come here now and I use pie chart, let me now show you something. If I use this is pie chart. I think it's pie. The pronunciation is pear or pie. So I call it pie chart. Please pardon me. If you use pie charts here, let me show you what it's going to look like. Look, this is the reason why you don't just use any chart you like because you like it or it's fine. This pie chart now is now showing you that USA is the highest. The second highest is this one, but you cannot tell the third highest because all these things are the same size. And Any person that looks at your chart at a glance will see so many colors. They cannot really enjoy the site. They have to take their time to start digging deep and analyzing. And your job is to analyze. That's why you spend all those hours analyzing, so that someone else that sees it will not have to analyze or look deeply to see the information. You've dug out all the information and just show it to the person. So another rule of using pie chart, like I told you before, the only time you use pie chart is when you are talking about percentage or average. That is the best kind of information that this one tells very well. Then secondly, when the information you're trying to portray is just one or two, not more than 5, highest is 4 or 5. Now see what happens when we reduce these countries. Reduce this one, reduce this one. We have only just, see, we have just 3 countries here. Can you see? You can use this pie chart now because it's easy. You can easily tell that USA is the highest, but it's still difficult to tell between these two which one is higher. But a closer look, you can now see that this one is higher than this. Or when you put this data label, you can look at the figures that this one is 2K and this one is 1K. That's when you can tell. But it is better when the information you are trying to portray is not more than 2 or 3, highest 4 or 5. Then you can use pie charts. So the best one that we can use here is what? The best one we can use here is what? Please, who can tell me? Since pie chart is not giving us the... So the best one is the bar chart. It tells you the information at a glance. Right? It's a bar chart. So we are done with this chart, but there are a few more things you need to do before you're done with this chart. There are so many informations here. You have this one is not needed. This form of selling profits. This one, this information here is not needed. This country, because you already know the title will tell you what the topic is. So you have to come here, click on this place. You can edit this pie chart. Make sure you're on this pie chart. Come here. You can see the x-axis contain the country. That's this one. You can actually click here to see more information, but you don't need any of this. So you come to this place to edit this thing. The x-axis is this down, while the y-axis is this up. So if you want to do anything on the x-axis, you don't want this country that is here because it's useless. You don't need it. So you come here and you remove the title. That's gone. That country is gone. All right. You close it. On the y-axis, you don't want this profits here. You remove, just turn off the title, it is gone. So our data is actually clean now, but we want this sum of profits, we want to rename it. So we check it here, it is not here. Okay, data label. Look, if you watch now, you're seeing this grid line. This grid line is not really nice. It's not really important. Even though you're showing us this thing, you need these figures because you want to know that this US actually gave us more than 5K. You want to know that this one gave us close to 3K, but it's not exact. You want to know the exact figure that US gave you. But this one is showing you that it's over 3K. This one is close to 3K. Sorry, over 5K. This one, you can trace it down. You need to do the tracing to see that it gave us 1K. But at a glance, you just want to see the information. So you want to come to this data label, turn on data label. It will give you the exact figures on top. Once you get this, you no longer need this one, so you can turn it off. I think we can turn it off. You can come to general. You can turn it off. Header icon. It is in the header icon. You can just turn on, turn off. Okay, no. It should be here. On the y-axis, it's on the y-axis. You come to this place. Value. You don't want the values. You just turn it off. It's gone. So that's it. You can see that we are clean now, but one more thing, we need our the title. You come to general, click on general, come to title. Then you want to edit the title. You want to make it come to the center. You click here to bring it to the center, and then you want to change it. This is profit by country. So make your name short. Profit by country. Okay. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So you can see my screen, right? Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. So we want to now, we've changed the name. I've changed the name of the country, okay? But I want to
Yes.
I want to make it bigger. So I just come here and increase the font. Just click it to maybe 18
We can.
or 16. It is now 16. Let me make it 18. Yeah, this is fine. It's good. You can also change the color. You can change, anything you want to do. You can edit it. But remember, color is not important, really. Just focus on the details. So at a glance, my people, you can agree with me that even without you knowing anything, you can see at a glance that USA.
Recording in progress.
You can see that USA gave us exact figure, $5.4K. This one gave us $2.9K, not that graph that you saw grid line that you need to guess, and all of that. So we have removed all the unnecessary informations here, and we have only the very important informations. So you just put it the way you want. Maybe you want it to be here. You're done with this one. You have answered these business questions. Take it anywhere in the world, you're correct. Let's check our next question. Our next question says, best performing gender between male and female by percentage. So whenever you hear percentage, whenever you hear average, what comes to your mind? What kind of chart will come to your mind? Please, someone should answer me. What kind of chart will come to your mind?
Pie chart.
Pie chart, thank you. So we want to look at percentage of male. So we want to know how much are we getting from male, how much are we getting from female. So we look at gender. Where is gender? Customer gender. You click on it. Then you go to profit. No, sorry. You have to come out of this particular cell. Come out ahead. Then you come and click customer gender and profit. How much are we making from male? How much are we making from female? If you click on sales, the same thing, this profit and sales, total sales, you can also use your total sale. It's give you the same figure. So I just prefer profit because it gives you a round figure. So this is what it gives us, but we want to choose the kind of chart we want to use. Now, if we use pie chart, if we use bar chart, it's going to give us the information we need, though, but it's not looking nice. It's just two charts. I remember we are going to remove all these things here. If we remove all these things, we'll just be seeing only two charts. It doesn't make sense. So let's see line charts. It still doesn't make sense. In fact, line chart will even kill the information. You cannot deduce anything from it. So the best chart to use is pie chart. At a glance, you can see that. Now, this is how pie chart work. You have what we call legend. This legend is to tell you that blue, this light blue, and the female is the dark blue at a glance. Then it gives you the figure. Okay, so this is it. You can also use this donut chart. It's also good, but you can't really tell. I think you can't really tell which one is bigger, but I can tell a chart. But let's use this one. It's more, it's more, understandable. Then I'm looking at my time. We're almost done. We have just a few minutes. Let me now edit this thing. You come here, click on this place, come to legend, slides. These slides this is each of the slides. These are the two colors. I think I like using light color. Let me use this one. Good. This one tells better information in the slides. Nothing else. Data label. On the data label, guys, can you see my screen? Hello? Hello? Sorry, I was off. I was off. I'm back now. But I'm back now. Sorry. So sorry. My network was. So let me just quickly rush this thing and close. Can we see my screen now? Please, can you see my screen?
Hello, can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes, we
Okay, good. So I want to just edit this thing, and then I will just click on this legend. So what the legend does is the name, this thing you're seeing here. I want to bring the legend to the top, or let's start with the title. Let's go to general. The title, let's edit the title. We make it 18, sorry. We'll bring it to the center. Good. I want to change the name of the title to what? Profits by gender. Profits by gender. So that's the name of our title. And that's it. Then on the, I think that's really the thing that we need here. On the visual, on the slides, sorry, the legend, we want to choose how the legend will be. On the top, we want it on the top. It will bring the legend to the top, but we want it on the top center. We'll bring it to the top center. Good. So the legend title, we don't want a title on the legend. We just want the name, just, female and male. Fine. Our legend is okay now. Then we'll close that legend. Then when you come here, on the data label, this data label, how do you want it? Do you want it outside or preferred inside? It will bring it inside. Or do you want it, want it outside? How do you want it? Do you want it category label, female? No. Because it's in percentage. So we want the percentage total category to name the percentage female, how many percent and all that. But we can also add data value and the percentage, because we cannot leave female there and male, because the legend already tells us female or male. So we just want to have the number, the figure, and the percentage, and that's cool. So let's say we want to have it, we prefer it inside, we want it to be inside. I think this is better for me. I prefer this. Or do we want to have it outside? No. Do we want to have it outside like this? Okay. This is better. So we know that male have 13K, 46% and all that. So this is fine. I'll just reduce it the way I want. So another thing I can do is to give it the same design with this one, that shadow. If you come here, you can see here, you can come to general, you can see effects. You can go to just give it shadow, fine. You can do the same thing here, or you can just copy it from here and, put it here. Or you can also just come here and do it general. You can come to general, come to shadow, turn on the shadow, and this is fine. So let's answer the last question. You can make, since you have only 4, you can just make these ones bigger and all that. Can make it bigger. So can we stop here and then we can do the other 2 as an assignment while practicing this thing? We can use these 2 now. We've done 2 already. You can now use these 2 as your assignment. What do you think? Are you seeing my Excel? Are you seeing my Excel, please? Are you seeing my Excel?
No.
Okay. Okay, let me share my Excel screen. This is my Excel. Can you see my Excel?
No.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So we have done these 2. We have done these 2 already. So can we leave these 2 as an assignment, or do we also do it now? Because I'm looking at time, it's already 10:30 and we're supposed to stop by 10:30. Do we solve it also? But it's the same thing, basically. Top selling products.
Let's just do one.
Okay, top selling product. Okay, let's do one more. Which one should we do?
Assignments.
Eh?
Let's do one.
Okay, I think I'll leave it as an assignment, please. On Tuesday, we can look at it, but I want you people to attempt it. The same thing. But there's something I want to tell you about the year. The best kind of chart to use for year is what? Line charts. The best kind of chart to use for year is line charts. So that's just it. All right. So the assignment is that you should practice this thing, do this thing the way you want, twist it to your own color, any color you want, then make sure it's a nice
I've been
color.
logged out since 10.
Eh? What did you say, Mr. Olalekun? What did you say, sir?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
We meet
fine.
on
Okay, so yeah, so we close here, but do your assignment, please. We're meeting on Tuesday. We are going to do the correction on the
Yeah,
assignment.
it's okay.
Okay, so on Tuesday, we are going to be doing DAX on Tuesday. I can't really hear you. What did you say, sir? Okay, please. My network is bad, please. Okay. Okay, so please, let's stop here, please. On Tuesday, we continue. But do your assignment. Do this remaining 2, please, on Tuesday. Do the remaining 2. I've done 2.
Let's do it as an assignment. Let's
Yes,
do them
do
as an
these 2.
assignment.
Do these 2 as assignment. Find the top-selling
Good
products.
night.
Find the best-selling year. So what you need to do is just to simply put it on this remaining space. These 2 spaces that you can see here. Put one here, put one here, and your dashboard.
Please send.
Fine.
Please send the recorded
video. Yes.
Please
yes,
send
I'll
the
do that.
recorded video.
All right, I'll drop that in the group. All right, guys. Good night. See you guys on Tuesday. Bye.
Good night, sir. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Oh
you for
boy.
joining. Thank you for joining. All right.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.